Alright, so building this deck did not take a whole ton of sophisticated consideration. Basically, I just put in all of my sweet, cheap creatures, and then there were no other playables left. I'm playing 18 lands. I'm still trying to figure out how many lands to play. I have a few cards that cost 6. The Horse Snatcher Bat wants me to have 2 Shadow Sigils, and 6 of them have played 6 sigils by the 6th turn. I'm playing some cards that I'm not so sure about, including Temper, because the one thing that I'm rather low on is removal. Like I have an Annihilate, which is cool, but conditional. I have 2 Amethyst Acolytes, which again are sort of soft removal. Same thing with Rampage. Rampage is one combat trick that's not really removal because, no combat trick is really removal, but it's extra not removal because it only gives +1 health to your attacker, whereas Giant Growth is almost always going to take out whatever is blocking and save whatever is getting blocked, or vice versa, depending on when you play it. That's not true of Rampage. Your card will often die still after you put Rampage on it. So I don't think the Temper is good, but in fact, I think it's pretty bad, but I think it's better than everything else that I have access to that I'm not playing. I am playing all 5 Vultures, so this is vultures.deck, and we're playing some weapons to capitalize on that. So the Sidearms, Acolyte, and the Chakram. We're playing Recogulator just because it interacts well with the Thornbeast and Smuggler's Stash, and because we don't have a heck of a lot to play instead of it. The same thing is kind of true for Dark Wisp, although I'm more confident about that card. Especially since cards like Dark Wisp and Recogulator and the things it produces feed my Vultures. So let's see how it performs. It is kind of sad to be playing blue-black without a whole lot of removal, but I'm not too worried about that because of the 2 Acolytes and my kill a unit with a single faction. A lot of good units have a single faction, but a lot of really good units do not have a single faction, so sometimes it's fine, sometimes not. I think that I keep this hand. It's not good, but I think I keep it. All right. I probably don't want to block that because Granite Acolyte really wants me to already have a card. Let's not block and see how this goes. Okay. Awkwardly is the answer. Obviously, the Amethyst Acolyte makes me happy to have not blocked that, but having nothing on the second turn is pretty weak, particularly in a deck that's playing 5 Scavenging Vultures. Okay, that's pretty sweet for me. The Acolyte is not a 2-for-1 because that weapon drew a card for my opponent, but it gets me tempo, and tempo matters a lot in this situation. A lot. So we've now, each of us has gotten 2 Warcries off. And this thing can't be brought back from the graveyard because it has 0 health. So we're going to want to hopefully try to bait a Torch out of my opponent. No, we're going to... I will play the Vulture into this. No, I won't. I'm going to play the Acolyte and really transparently ask them to torch it. I think my Vulture is strong in this matchup, and I think I want as many of them as I can get, and that's kind of painful that they have another Torch coming down. So what we're going to do is we're going to play both the Sidearm and the Annihilate this turn. if we sidearm the 4-1, then it will take 2 torches to get rid of it. That's pretty sweet. So let's put the sidearm on the 4-1. Annihilate the 4-3. And then go in with both. So 2 of their cards are torches, which are going to be spent taking out this 8-4. Then they're going to have 3 cards left. Okay, that's fine. Yep. Okay. And now I play my Vulture, leave the 2-1 back to block, and we see what else I have. Okay. So they get a whole bunch more torches. Wow, that's really strong. Oh man, I wish I had a bunch of Rebel Illuminators. I will block, sure. So we're going to see 4-3 into 3-1 this turn, I guess. Oh, right, that thing costs... Yeah, right. There we go. Yeah, that makes sense. Is 18 lands too many lands? Gonna have to let that through. Blocking the 3-1 just takes out my whole field. Seven, 8, 9. So they have 2 turns to kill me or remove my vultures. Okay, then I have 3 turns. And they get to remove one of my vultures. Yep, that's a problem. Okay. What was that? I will block the 2-2. Why did they shoot my 2-1 instead of my 3-2? They didn't want it to double block the 4-3 or something? No, it was definitely exhausted. So what's the deal? Alright, you can have my sigil. Am I undervaluing Subvert? I certainly don't think so. Yeah, I'll trade the 3-2 for the 6-3 if possible. They've spent all their torches, right? Uh-huh. Rampage or something? They have not spent all their torches. Did I know about that torch? Rebel Illuminators died 3 times, and they've used 4 torches. Huh. Okay. This is a problem. What have we got? Death Strike. Wow, my opponent saw some pretty sweet cards. Okay. My opponent's deck is just a better version of mine. Just higher card power all around. They saw a whole bunch of Rebel Illuminators. They apparently also saw a Torch. They saw things that bring Rebel Illuminators back from the graveyard. All sorts of stuff we would have drafted if we'd seen it. Let's grab Direfang Spider and take out a Sigil, because that was some pretty inconveniently large number of Sigils to draw. It's certainly not why I lost, but it was a contributing factor. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. There's just so much to do without my second color, and having these 3 cards right at curve is pretty sweet. Like, very sweet, actually. It's an extremely aggressive hand. And we have like 4 turns to draw a Fire Sigil before we want to play a fire card. Well, now we really want to draw a Fire Sigil, which is 8, I believe, out of 37. So we expect to draw a Fire Sigil by the time that we need one. That's our expectation. We also really hope to draw a Fire Sigil by the time that we need one. So yeah, let's debuff this card to get in with everything. Do you block? Alright, I don't mind that. My opponent is playing the if it has 4 attack or more deck. That's kind of painful, but it's better than not drawing a Sigil. So I think I put it on the Amethyst Acolyte. Make it a 4/2 and make that able to attack. That seems correct. Weapons on flying cards are good, but this just means I get in much more damage. An extra 2 damage. Giant Growth, I guess. That's painful. Yeah, I should have been paying it. I should have played around that. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that my opponent had 1 mana open and had access to green. Oh well. Kind of just really want to get unmana screwed. Of course, when I take out a Sigil, I get mana screwed the next game. Sure. Okay. Yep. Nothing I can do about that. Sure, that's fine. Drawing a Fire Sigil is pretty sweet here, because I can stick the Chakram on the... Nope, wrong type of Sigil. Well, the sidearm is good on the Destroyer too. Just not as sweet as if... Well, you know, actually, maybe the sidearm is a better play here than the Chakram. Yeah, I take it back. That's actually... Even if I drew a Fire Sigil, I would have wanted to play the sidearm on the Destroyer. Now, though, now I'd love to play the Chakram on it, too. And, of course, to temper their Loyal Watchwing. Okay. Well, I will make that block, and they have some combat trick. That's okay, I think. Yeah. So, yep. So increases my chances of getting, yes, there we go. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. So the question is, would I prefer to kill 2 things this turn? No, I want to do this more than anything. That is a pretty big attack. And then the question is, well, certainly I pass the turn because these are fast spells. Then the question is, do I want to shoot the Watchwing or the 3/1 with Temper? The answer is probably the 3/1, actually. Yeah, let's do that. All right, now we're just rolling in Fire Sigils. So I play the Fire Sigil. Is this has no faction, right? Yeah. So they can do nothing. Triple block. I'd like to just go in here. Seems pretty good. Play the Sharpshooter. Yeah, okay, so I did make a mistake early in the game. I probably should have put the sidearm on the Vulture. But I don't think it was that serious, and what we needed to do in order to win that game was just, you know, draw the right colors of sigils. And had a pretty convenient Xenon Destroyer that definitely saved us. If I could have 2 Xenon Destroyers, I think my deck would be significantly better for it, because Xenon Destroyer with those weapons on it is pretty sweet. Sidearm with the Xenon Destroyer is great, because it's just really tough to block, and it's getting you so much life every turn. And then the Chakram with the Xenon Destroyer is also great, because it's, again, getting you so much life, and it's not even a liability, because it's really hard to remove. Like, the Chakram just comes back when the Destroyer dies. This is probably a hand to keep. It's very borderline, and this bat's going to be stuck in our hand forever. But if I can just draw 1 sigil in the next 2 turns, it's an awesome hand. So let's put down the Ronin. It gets blocked by something with 1 attack, but I don't think many people play 1/1 for 1 cards. So I think the Warcry just makes it a better first turn drop than Knife Jack. And drawing that land was sweet, because now we can play the Vulture and then put the Iron Sword on the Vulture. So we're gonna play this. I have a feeling that this thing is gonna get in a lot. No, I guess I could have played Knife Jack to like make that thing stay home, but I think I win this race, so not incredibly concerned. Worst case scenario, I'm going to have turns upon turns upon turns of chump blockers, so pretty good. I don't know what's in their hand. Doesn't look like any removal or creatures, really. So let's just throw everything down. I don't think there's a card in red that punishes us for doing that. There is a card in green that punishes us for doing that, namely Wrath of God, but whatever it's called. Harsh Rule, I believe. Okay, that's pretty impotent here. We'll certainly just take that. In goes everything. They're going to block the 2/1 probably. That's what I would do. The Warcry. Nope, I wouldn't. Nope. That was curious. I'm not sure what the reasoning was there. Maybe it was a misclick. Yep. Okay. On to game 3. I guess, I don't know. 18 lands seems like it's... I mean, 17 lands seems like it's pretty low. This differs from last hand in that all of these cards are like one cost higher than they were in the last hand. Like I had a bunch of 1-drops last time. This hand is very, very borderline. Not excited about it. Not at all. Getting 1 land would make a huge difference. Sure. Yeah, we really need a land. Gonna play the Outlaw because it's similarly hard to block on turn 3 to the Vulture. Okay, sure. I don't really care about it drawing removal instead of the Vulture. Guess I'll play my Thorn Beast. I don't really see myself sacrificing a creature anytime soon. Okay. So that's pretty sweet for us because, well, I guess let's see if they block, which they won't do, but it seems dominant to attack first, the dominant decision, and then get rid of their Cloud Snake. Okay. Sweet. So I guess I'll put the Chakram on... No, I think I'll attack with both and then play... I think I'll attack with just this, play 2 Vultures, and hope to block with the Acolyte. If they want to remove my Acolyte, that's fine. They are, by the way, stuck on 2 mana right now. Next turn is going to consist of putting a Chakram on a Vulture and kind of demanding an answer, which there is not really one of. Especially when you're stuck on 2 lands, which, again, sucks. So, Chakram on Vulture, in for 9. And the turn. Did they get a land? It's pretty amazing how much they were able to play with only 2 mana available to them. That's 6 cards. Oh, that's impressive. This guy's, I guess, kind of nasty if he gets in, so I'll leave back my 3/3. Because I couldn't have forced the block, and I don't know, it just delays me a little bit. No, it doesn't really matter. There wasn't really a decision to make there. Aha! That's the first time I've hit diamond, apparently. So, cool. There's some monies for me. Because I haven't been... I haven't been drafting much, and when I have been drafting for the past week, I've been pretty much breaking even. I do have a big chunk of change saved up. So 10,000 plus 2 gold chests and a silver chest, which is more than I typically keep in my wallet, because the whole point of playing Eternal Card Game for me is having drafts. This is painful. This would be sweet if I just had a Shadow Sigil. Well, okay, sure. My deck is just going to pretend it's overcompensating for the last hand by pretending it's just a Shadow deck. Which, whatever, this seems like a pretty sweet hand. I would love to draw 1 Fire Sigil. But anyways, this is more than I typically keep in my wallet because I love to draft. And if I have enough time, I'll just sit there and draft until I lose, because I do not yet go infinite. But it usually takes me several drafts to like wear down my capital. It's a popular move against my Vultures. Little do they know I have 5 of them. Order of the Spire. Well, I'm happy that I have a Direfang Spider. Oh no, I'm happy that I have an Amethyst Acolyte. What am I thinking? Gonna block? Didn't think so. There we go. Yeah, I would like a Fire Sigil. I would quite like a Fire Sigil here. Oh, well. Well. I guess I should be a little bit worried about Wrath of God. Come now. Fire Sigil would be so useful. Alright, I'm going to go in with both of these. Oh, I suppose I should have gone with the 2/2 as well. My bad. That was a misplay. Thought I had 2/2/1s. Sure, okay. Don't really hate eating combat trick there. That seems fine. Okay, yeah. I would really like a Fire Sigil. In for 1 damage. Aha, I'm playing the flying deck. Well, I guess I can put this on my spider and just keep asking my opponent to accept some pain. That's unfortunate for me. There we go. So, seems like what I want to do is put the Chakram on the 2/2, I guess, and ask them to double block to kill it. Let's try that. Then we can get rid of the 1/5. Yeah. So we traded our 2/2 for a 1/5 flying, which is pretty good. It does take time, though. It takes real tempo to do this. Costs real tempo. Recogulator is good with the Chakram. A 6/4 flying. Well, that's a pain. Overwhelm, too. Yeah. It's pretty strong get for my opponent. I guess I just have to really hope that they don't have removal for my 2/1 so that it's going to be able to block. Okay. Sure. 7/7 on the ground. Entomb, kill all enemy units. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's brutal. Wow. I mean, I have to block it. Oh man. Unstable form. Wow. Yep. What can you do? Yep. Oh my goodness. That is pretty painful. Whew. Okay. Yeah. That's GG. Maybe. Probably. Okay. Yep. Good game. There's no way that they block here, right? Oh, well, okay then. So I get another turn. Yep. Wow. That's amazing. Wow. I mean that I really for a second there thought that I had won because of that like very goofy block. But then they drew the card. Too bad. You don't see a game like that every day. Or maybe you do. I guess I keep. I guess. So close to being a really strong hand. And yet, so far, an entire sigil away. And I have to draw it in the next 2 draws. Well, there it is. I guess I do attack here. Makes my vulture better, and I have no reason to believe that they're not going to play like a 2/2 next turn that stops this thing from just getting damage in for free anyways. Cool. If I put the sidearm on the vulture, I'm almost certainly playing into torch or something. So let's not do that. Okay. It's too bad that doesn't have a single faction, huh? So let's attack. And then put down a 2/1, turning this into a 2/2 to make the 2/1 able to block that thing unless they have some combat trick or removal, which they certainly do. Yep. And that's it. Sure. But the other advantage is that now my 3/3 can block it. So in we go. Fight. And I assume that they have a torch or something for it, but this is just a game of emptying out my opponent's removal. And just hoping that we have more stuff than they have ways to remove that stuff. But they seem to have no shortage of ways to remove my stuff. Do I just go full aggro here? Can make this a 5/4 quick strike that doesn't get killed by torches. But if they block with this, then it does get killed by their torch. Maybe I just put the sidearm on the 2/1 and then never kill the Illuminator. Never attack on the ground, never block the Illuminator. That's what I'm going to try. That seems like the best way out of this situation. Because the other thing is that I don't mind having my vulture shot with a torch, because what I would mind is having my bat shot with a torch. So I'll block this. Okay, so it still dies. I take 5, 6, 7, yep. Sure. And then at the end of the turn, let's get rid of that thing, just to make this race a little bit less scary. This is very awkward, naturally. But, I don't know, maybe they'll play something else with 1 health. Because I certainly don't want to hit the Illuminator. And, you know, in a race this tight, 1 damage to their face might end up being relevant. That's pretty good, I think. Yeah, that's actually really good. I like having the chump blockers. So I block the 2/2. They get a Warcry and an armor, which is actually an issue for me, the armor. So I have to win like a turn ago, basically. No, so here's the game plan. I block the 2/4 and the 2/2, let the 3 damage through, and hope that the combination of my 2 flying cards and my temper is enough to get me over the top. So I do not kill the Illuminator. I do not let any damage through on top of the Illuminator. If they have any combat trick, any direct damage, anything like that, then I'm sunk. They would need 2 different pieces of removal, which I don't even know what it would be if it's not direct damage. Oh, okay. No, that doesn't really change anything. Yep. Okay, so actually, the way things look right now is that Temper is going to win this game for me. Oh, wait, no, this gets unexhausted. Forgot about that. In we go. So, yeah, there we go. Very close game. Very, very close. If this had gotten stunned, I would have needed Temper to get that extra damage in on top of my Vulture, which would have been pretty funny. It's funny that the queuing times, the estimated wait times seem to often fall when you have won more games, which doesn't seem to make much sense at all. I'm going to have to redraw that. Ooh, that's terrible. I think this is the end of the road for me. I don't know how I'm going to win this. Guess drawing a Knife Jack is a really good start, but far from a solution. Really, really just want a Fire Sigil. Ouch. Yeah, this is not good at all. We're going to let the Blood Beetle through and double block the Gorgon and hope that... Oh, we're not going to have to let the Blood... I guess I have a combat trick. I'll play into it. I need to get this extra card. I don't have a combat trick. Okay, and I don't get the extra card. Criminy. Ouch. Do they have a Sigil? Okay, so they're mana screwed. And I got my Sigil. But again, like, this is still a tragically bad hand. Alright, well, I'm drawing out of being mana screwed and my opponent isn't, which is good for me and sucks for them. Still need 2 more sigils before my hand becomes at all useful. Sure. Okay, I mean... like, my deck really cooperated. It gave me... It belched up a terrible hand and then just supplied the pieces to make it good right up to the point. Oh my goodness. Because I still need another sigil. And my opponent has hit their 3rd sigil and is getting to draw extra cards. Okay. What are we going to do? I guess I will shrink the 1/3 and then go in with the 3/3 and the 2/1. Offer a trade. That seems fine. So I'll trade the 2/1 for a Blood Beetle. Just because I really want to get Warcry. I can play nearly everything in my deck. It's just that my hand is full of the stuff that I can't play. Also, yeah, losing my card is good because of Smuggler's Stash. I mean, it's not good, but it's not something that I'm afraid of because of Smuggler's Stash. So I probably actually do just want to block with the Wisp, because that's better than either of these targets for a Smuggler's Stash, and because I really, really, really want a Sigil. So I think I'll do that. Okay. I guess it would have been a lot better to draw that when I had the Wisp. But oh well, no way of knowing that. I mean, I know that now, there just was no way of knowing that. So this putting this down offers to trade with the 3/4 because it can sit back and frontline Cyclops when frontline Cyclops inevitably has to attack. So frontline Cyclops is a sweet. I don't think they do that probably. Also, frontline Cyclops is a sweet target for a Smuggler's Stash if it does die. I kind of want to save Smuggler's Stash for when both of these two have been played and been killed, because they're just awesome targets for it. Turns 2 bombs into 4 bombs. So let's put this thing down, keep taking some pain, hope they can't remove my 2/1 and get their Gorgon Fanatic in, but if they can, it's not the end of the world. Although this card is 3 cards. It's a lot of cards, as I've said previously. I guess the Cyclops would have been a safer play because I'm not going to be blocking the Fanatic with the Bat. Or maybe I should be because of Smuggler's Stash. Okay, well, yeah, so. We will certainly not be blocking. Take a bunch of pain. They get a bunch of cards. Yeah, I mean, that was good, but that did cost them 2 cards to get 3 cards and 3 health. So it's not, like, devastating for me. Okay, sure. Oh, interesting. So I'm probably going to want to play the Acolyte and the Thornbeast instead of the Cyclops. I think turning this into a 2/3 is a pretty worthy cause. Because I could save it for them to play something with 1 toughness, but I'd probably be waiting a long time. Actually, yeah, the Cyclops is pretty hard to say no to. That's a big card. Yeah, let's do that. Because these two have the same attack together as the Cyclops, but the Cyclops just attacks over a whole bunch of stuff. Things with 5 toughness and whatnot, so still a bigger bomb. I will not be blocking, as usual. So they can block 6, they would take 10 damage. I have no way of increasing that. I feel like the Acolyte is a good chump blocker. That's probably going to be its purpose. Yeah, that's a pain. That is a major pain. Well, we'll go in with both. Shrink this thing, which is unconvincing, but what else am I going to do? And then I will not sacrifice anything to this Thornbeast, and I'll end. What's in their hand? A whole lot of sigils? I would lose here to 2 +4 attacking quick strikes. I'm not doing anything with this 2/1. Might as well just throw it in front. I don't think it's at all likely that they have something that makes me lose there. But I also don't want to take any unnecessary risks. So this seems right, doesn't it? I probably don't want to play Knife Jack. Let's do it. What do they do? Block, block, take 7. Play something. Play nothing and lose. Okay. Yep, that was a close game. Okay. Got my first diamond chest. This next win is, like, right now I'm fighting to break even instead of lose 2,000 gold on the draft. So it's a pretty big game in terms of rewards. Terrible, 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 terrible. Devastating. I guess maybe I should have got that mana fixing sigil, but Even the... Okay, well, perfect. But even the mana fixing sigil there is pretty darn bad. Like, you still lose that turn of tempo. I don't know. Bad mana fixing is still good, but also bad, if you know what I mean. Very unconvincing start from my supposedly aggressive deck. Echo deck. I really think that's a sweet plan for a draft deck. Oh, that's so cool. I think this card's really cool. Unstable form. It was pretty frustrating when my opponent got that like sweet legendary off of it, but that is what makes the card cool. It just does weird, unexpected stuff, and sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not. It's just cool. I like it. I respect playing it. Oh, wow. Well, okay. I will Acolyte it. I guess it just gets rid of my Sharpshooter. One really good thing about the Acolyte there is that, unlike in that game that I played ages ago, they can't recur it because it now has 0 health. Maybe you can. I actually don't know how that works. Maybe you can bring it back and then it instantly dies and tombs and gets you a torch. That would be pretty wild. Anyways, we're out of gas, so not feeling too optimistic here. And we are like extra out of gas now. That's way too bad. Go in for 1 damage. I will certainly double block here. I don't care what they have in their hand. I want to draw a card and hope that that card is good. Come on, let me draw my card. Oh. I'll chump. I want my card. If I had good cards in my hand, I wouldn't do that, but I need to draw. Whoa, my goodness. Okay, then. Well, it happens. Ten sigils and 4 cards. Well, the Vulture is not useless here. I guess after this I stop playing sigils. Maybe not, actually. There are well, maybe for a while, yeah. So 3 turns until this... Oh, no. Do you have an Echo card? Yeah. They still have a... Oh, no, no, they don't. Take it back. Yeah, that's not... It's not so useful. Guess I'll go in because I really don't like that staff, and I guess we'll trade with the 2/3 or something, yeah. I don't love that. Kind of really want a weapon, I guess. At least everything I draw I can play. Ouch. Okay. This still doesn't solve the problem. I guess this can trade with something. No, I'm going to sacrifice, and it can hold back their attackers for at least probably 2 turns. Okay. Well then. Well, that was not the start that we needed to get against that deck, or the end. We probably also needed them to not get a Nightmaw. But hey, it happens. My deck was pretty mediocre and plagued by mana problems, but we got up to 5 wins, which is not shameful. Well, see you next time.